Hey guys and dolls, it's Jason. Welcome back to the channel. I have an incredibly exciting video for you guys today. I just watched a full video on Cathie Wood. The last video that was uploaded by ARC, it's about 45 minutes long, and this is all about how Cathie Wood is addressing the market sell-off and correction right now. She does go and talk about whether we are in fact in a bubble and what she is doing, because Cathie Wood is actually buying the dip. Now, it did take me a long time to dissect all the key elements and all the key points of that video. I have got them written down for you, and in this quick 10-minute video today I will be breaking them down as best I can for you. So this took a lot of time to put together, so please drop a big like on this video and consider hitting that big red subscribe button below to join this family of investors on YouTube. My name is Jason, and Cathie Wood believes that in fact there is a lot of fear and volatility right now in the markets, but she is taking advantage of that. The first key point that I would like to bring up today is the fact that Cathie Wood talks about ETF wrappers and how the essential traditional analyst is actually consumed with making a return to beat the S&P 500. Now, these time frames and time horizons that these analysts look at are essentially anywhere between 6 months and 18 months. So Cathie Wood's time frame is 5 years out, which is why they actually invest in disruptive innovation. They're not worried about the broader market right now, what is happening with the correction. They actually see this as a buy the dip opportunity because nothing in their research has changed. They really do believe that disruptive innovation is going to in fact implement and impact 50% of the S&P 500 in the coming decade. She believes that most of the plays in the S&P 500 will actually become value traps, and she says that fintech and autonomous driving will actually be the forefront of leaders in this sector, along with obviously genomics, AI and robotics. She also believes that there is going to be a collaboration in the future between the three sectors. So we have robotics, as I've just mentioned, we have artificial intelligence, and we also have autonomous driving. Electrical vehicles and solar energy is one big segment. And she believes that this is at the forefront, it is the revolution and is happening right now. And the traditional analysts cannot see this, which is why they are actually in fact taking their money right now out of the high growth stocks, because we are having that sell-off and they are putting it into those value stocks. Now, is this a good thing? A lot of people are in a skepticism right now in the markets because there is a lot of volatility and they're not sure where the bottom is. But I just want to tell you from personal experience that it is no good trying to time the market. If you are going to in fact buy in, say because Tesla has dropped 35%, I always say on my channel, the best bet is to dollar cost average in. This is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but that is what I'm doing with my money, so that is just my thoughts and opinions. There's no point in trying to find a bottom because you will never be right. No one knows where the bottom is. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month. So in fact, the best strategy to do, as Cathie Wood says, is to actually start to dollar cost average in, because time in the market always beats trying to time the market. Now, ARK Invest's ETF did actually see an outpour of I think 400 million in the past week due to the fact that Tesla itself had a gigantic sell-off, and a lot of people, investors, are scared, that uncertainty, they're not sure what is going on, so they're taking their money out. Well, Cathie Wood actually sees this as a good thing. She says that this is a buying opportunity. Cathie Wood goes on to say how she doesn't worry about the outflows of ARK in the sense of a traditional hedge fund. Cathie Wood is simply a hedge fund manager, and all she does is simply take companies that she likes, things that she believes in, and that is what she invests in. That is what she spends her time doing. So if she's going to see these outpours in her ETFs, she's really not worried, because it is about the broader projection of market over a 5 to 10 year period, which is what a lot of these analysts right now are not seeing, and everything seems to be about PE ratios and value, and she is not concerned about that, because if you look on a graph at how growth is and how exponential growth is, right now they are sitting at a very similar line. And she says what people don't seem to understand, over the next 5 to 10 years, that line is going to go up exponentially. And so obviously being on the right side of change, which is quote unquote what she says, being on the right side of change is what matters. You want to be in the companies that are going to be in quote unquote the new world, the revolution, the innovation that is happening all around us. Cathie Wood describes this as a luxury. She describes time as a luxury because she's not focused on the short term like traditional analysts. One really big key point that Cathie Wood picks out in this speech that she says that how fear actually disrupts innovation even more. It actually accelerates innovation, which I found was really exciting. She says, look at the pandemic that's just happened, for example, how that accelerated online shopping, how that accelerated digital retail, and you know, you can see things like Zoom, for example, how that just absolutely took off. These markets are going to go with more fear, it comes more acceleration, so things happen even quicker. So she loves the fact that right now that we are in this uncertain time of fear and there has been a sell-off. And this brings me to another big conclusion, which is a bubble. Are we in fact in a bubble? Cathie Wood describes that in the 90s, when the telecom bubble burst, all the money was actually focused inside tech, which is why we did see a huge sell-off. Because the money right now is dispersed into different segments, into growth stocks, into value stocks, into all different areas, into the recovery plays, that is why we are not in fact in a bubble. And all of the seeds for innovation were actually planted back then in the 80s and the 90s, and it has only just begun. The revolution has barely started, and we are just at the tipping point of the iceberg. Now, what I love that she talks about is how combustion engines are actually at the maturity of their peak. So she believes that fossil fueled cars are actually at the peak of their career, and they are actually now starting to decline. And that brings up the point that I was saying about before, how exponential growth is going to start to accelerate alongside that trajectory curve, and we are going to see in fact that S curve, and that is when we are going to start to see that exponential growth moving forward, which is why she always says be on the right side of change. And she likes to disclose all of her funds, everything that she buys and sells. You can sign up on the ARK website and you can get a breakdown of what she actually buys and sells every day. It's something that I've done in the past, and it's something that I look over regularly because I love seeing and the interest that she can portray, how open she is. It's absolutely amazing, and she loves the fact that she's helping so many people right now, and she loves sharing her research. So that is a little tip for you that I would recommend going to see. Now, in the fact that she talks about that we are in fact a bubble, she believes that we are not in a bubble. And if you look at how fast the market has sold off in the segments of solar, has anything changed? No. Her research has actually got more conviction over time for how this revolution is about to happen. So she's actually been buying this dip as much as she can so that she can capitalize on it moving forward. And that is what is so exciting. I feel so inspired after listening to any of her talks, especially this last week. She's come out twice with 2 incredible videos, and I just have to commend Cathie Wood. I think she is one of the most intelligent people on the platforms of YouTube, and you know, the fact that we have the ability to have her knowledge right now and her input, and she is able to be so open and share that, I think it's so kind, and we are so lucky to have her input. And I really believe that the companies that I'm invested in are on the right side of change, and nothing has changed. My convictions haven't changed for these companies, which is why I have been stressing all week on my channel, which is why I've not sold any of my stocks during this broader market sell-off. In fact, I've actually been buying the dip on a lot of companies that I did see discounts. Companies like Tesla, for example, NEO, NNDM, even some fintech companies. So that is what I've been doing with my money. Now, if you look at energy and financials, energy is actually up 38% year to date. In the last month alone, it's up 22%. Financials is actually, in fact, up 8% to date, and it is up over, I think, 13% year on year. Now, if you compare this to how the dot-com bubble was, again, this is another reason why she says that we are not going to see a bubble burst, because the money right now is not essentially in all of the innovation stocks, in all of the growth stocks. They are in fact spread out. So what's going to happen is when those energy stocks start to die out in the next 5 years, and you know, solar takes over, because we are in the midst of a revolution. Tesla is making EVs every day. Millions and millions of EVs are being sold around the world between all of the companies, and it's only going to grow. This is only just the beginning. And people that can't seem to get that out of their mindset, they're the ones that are going to be stuck in those value traps. And what we are going to see is we're going to see a huge sell-off in those value plays, and that money is then going to be dispersed into the new world, as she says, and that is going to be the disruptive innovation. So that is a little summary of about what she was talking about in her latest video. So guys and dolls, that wraps up today's video. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video today. If you did, then please be sure to give this video a like, hit that big red subscribe button if you did make it this far. I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you watching all the way through, and be sure to share this information with a new investor or a friend if you know someone that is interested in this topic. Anyway, my name is Jason. I hope to see you back on my channel for some more content soon. Don't forget to have your cup of tea. Ciao!